Today, I have another interesting comparison for you. If you're looking to buy your first camera, should you buy a brand new entry-level camera or should you buy an older but higher-end professional camera if they're about the same price? So I'm going to be comparing two cameras. The first camera is the Canon M50 Mark II. The M50 has been one of the most popular cameras for beginners and enthusiasts in the recent years for its portable design and ease of use, and Canon just released a newer version of it and it costs around $600 body only. And the second camera is the Canon 5D Mark II, which is a 12-year-old professional DSLR. Of course, the 5D is a legendary camera and the Mark II revolutionized the entire camera industry because it was the first full-frame DSLR that was able to record full HD video. So not only was this one of the most popular cameras for pro photographers, but a lot of Hollywood movies and TV shows were shot with this camera as well. When the 5D Mark II was released, the list price of this camera was $2,700. So with the inflation, that will be around $3,000 or $3,500 today. But you do not have to pay $3,000 for this camera. You can actually find one on eBay for anywhere between $400 to $600. That's the thing about buying used cameras. Obviously, buying something new is always nice, but you can sometimes get extremely lucky if you just look a little harder. So the 5D was about $200 cheaper than the M50, and I could have chosen something a little newer and better, but sometimes full-frame lenses usually cost a lot more, so I thought this would be a more fair comparison. Let's take a look at the design first. It's quite obvious that the M50 is a much smaller and lighter camera than the 5D, partially because the M50 is a mirrorless camera and the 5D is a professional DSLR with a much bigger grip and a lot more physical buttons and dials to control the camera settings, which can be a bit daunting to beginners, but more experienced shooters will definitely appreciate this. And being a pro-level camera, the 5D is built on a much higher standard of durability and weather resistance than the M50, and it also uses a bigger battery. Mirrorless cameras also tend to use a lot more power than DSLRs, so realistically, you can probably expect about 3 to 4 times longer battery life from the 5D than the M50. And unlike the M50, the 5D is a full-frame camera, so the bigger sensor obviously adds to the physical size of the camera as well. If you don't know the difference between full-frame and crop sensor cameras, I have a video for that on my channel. I'll add a link to that in the description so you can take a look. To explain this in a really simple way, in general, bigger sensor usually means better low light performance and sometimes dynamic range. And because of the crop factor, when you're using the same lens, with a full-frame camera, you're going to be standing closer to your subject than you would with a crop sensor camera, which means shallower depth of field, and that can also lead to more background blur when you're taking portraits. So most pro photographers tend to prefer full-frame cameras, but here we're talking about a 12-year-old full-frame sensor, so how will that stack up against a brand new crop sensor? We'll find out in a minute. Being a newer camera, the M50 does have some advantages as well. Unlike the 5D, it has a fully articulating touchscreen which lets you more easily compose the shots from different angles, and the M50 has a much more advanced autofocus system which lets you continuously track the subject's face or eyes. Not only that, paired with the touchscreen and the 143 contrast detection and 99 phase detection autofocus points, you can simply tap anywhere on the screen to make the camera focus. On the other hand, because the 5D is a DSLR, a very old one at that, it uses a much more primitive autofocus system with just 9 autofocus points. Mind you, it still works really well. Don't forget that this is a camera that's still being used by many professionals, but for most beginners today who are used to taking pictures with their smartphones, it will take some more time getting used to. So obviously there's no one right answer when it comes to body design. With the M50, you get all the benefits of a mirrorless camera and it's probably a little easier to use and to travel with for most people. But the 5D being an older camera, it's surprisingly simple as well, so I don't think you need to be intimidated, and as you get better, you will appreciate the ergonomics and the battery life of the 5D more. Now let's take a look at the image quality. This is probably the most interesting part of the video for most of you. But first, just to make things a little more interesting, we're going to do some blind tests. Here, I have some photos taken with the 5D Mark II and the M50 Mark II. I'm not going to tell you which is which yet, but just see if you prefer one image over the other. Again, don't think too hard about it. You don't get any rewards for guessing correctly. Just see if you like one or the other better, because remember, one of these was taken with a $600 entry-level camera and the other was taken with a professional camera that costed almost 5 times more when it first came out. So, can you guess which camera these photos were taken with? If you can't, well, that just means you're a normal person. All the photos on the left were from the 5D Mark II and all the photos on the right were from the M50 Mark II. The chances are 50-50, so maybe you guessed some of them correctly, but the point here is, when you just look at the images straight out of the camera, it is very difficult to tell which cameras were used. One small difference you can notice is the difference in the background blur. When you're shooting portraits, the shallower depth of field that you get with a full frame can give you better bokeh, which can lead to better subject separation, therefore arguably a more pleasing image. But apart from that, the images look very similar. No one will ever guess that one of them was taken with a camera that's more than 12 years old or 6 times more expensive. I also see some subtle differences in color. The 5D's images seem to retain some more red in the skin, but obviously that has nothing to do with how old or expensive the camera is. What's better will come down to your personal preference, and color is pretty easy to edit as well. And I mentioned that full-frame cameras usually perform better in low light, but can a brand new crop sensor beat a 12-year-old full-frame sensor? Well, it turns out no. I mean, the images were very close, but at ISO 6400, which is the highest native ISO of the 5D Mark II, the grain seemed a little finer on the 5D's image, and the M50's image definitely had a bit more noise. I wouldn't choose the 5D over the M50 only based on the low light performance, but as you can see, it can still hold its own against newer crop sensor cameras. But it is when you start editing your photos when you start to see more interesting differences in these cameras. The biggest weakness of the 5D Mark II that I found was its dynamic range in the shadows. Recovering the shadows 5 stops, there's a lot of noise and banding on the 5D's image that you don't see on the M50's image. But interestingly, the 5D Mark II did a better job recovering the highlights. The pulled highlights of the 5D's image retained a bit more details than the M50's image. But overall, as long as you don't completely overexpose your images, the M50 has a much bigger usable range, so it definitely wins in dynamic range. So to summarize, I definitely prefer the 5D's images straight out of the camera, but the M50's raw files were a bit easier to work with because there's more room for error. But again, the differences in image quality were very subtle. I don't think anybody should be too worried about a camera being too old or too entry level. They're both capable of producing great results for the price. Next up, video. How do these cameras compare for video? Like I mentioned, the 5D Mark II was the first full-frame DSLR to be able to shoot 1080p videos, but obviously we've come a long way since then. The M50 can also shoot 1080 60 and 4K in 24 frames per second, which is like the bare minimum for today's standards, so that also tells you how much video capabilities have improved in the last decade. The 4K video on the M50 Mark II is heavily cropped and the autofocus doesn't work as well as in 1080, but considering the 5D can't even do continuous tracking in video, it's still a big plus. Not only that, the 5D Mark II's video runtime is only 12 minutes per clip because of the old FAT format. The file sizes couldn't exceed 4 GB. With the M50 Mark II, the video recording time is 30 minutes per clip. Like with photos, the main advantage of the 5D Mark II here is that full frame look. When paired with a decent lens, you'll get the decent bokeh and the color that you just cannot get with smartphone cameras. 4K is still quite underutilized by the vast majority of consumers, and if you're the type of content creator that appreciates the story and the aesthetics more than just the sharpness of the images, then the cameras like the 5D Mark II might still provide a great value for you. But if you're really serious about video, I probably wouldn't recommend you a 12-year-old camera just because it's cheap. There are so many other options nowadays, and the M50 is definitely easier to use for video, and the autofocus and the fully articulating touchscreen will also be useful for shooting vlogs and live streaming. So, what have we learned from all this? Well, Apart from all the differences on the hardware, the newer camera definitely wins in the technical aspects like the dynamic range, autofocus, and the video specs, but the 5D still holds up really well in low light performance, and you just cannot ignore that full frame look, although things like that won't show up on the spec sheets. Even with such an old sensor, the images look amazing straight out of the camera as long as you don't edit your exposures too heavily. Newer cameras will allow you more room for error, but shooting with an older camera will make the times you get it right more rewarding, and that can potentially train you to become a better photographer as well. But obviously, not everyone who buys cameras are trying to become a professional photographer, and even pro photographers sometimes want a simpler camera that's easier to travel with. If you just want a camera that works and you don't want to spend too much time figuring out what's what and how things work, you really can't go wrong with any entry-level cameras nowadays. If you're spending about the same amount of money, you obviously want to buy something that you're actually going to use, not something you'll take on a vacation once and keep in your closet forever. And since most people shop online nowadays, it's hard to get an idea of the size and weight of these cameras, but the 5D is literally about 2.5 or 3 times bigger and heavier than the M50. So if that's going to stop you from using the camera more often, you should just start with a smaller and lighter camera. So that's going to be it for me today, and if you have any more questions about these cameras, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to get to them all. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.